Hi, I'm Jessica with Houde School of Acting, and our movie spotlight of the week is The Duel.
Movie Spotlight of the Week.
Duel was directed by Steven Spielberg. It was his very first feature-length film, and it stars Dennis Weaver. Duel is an interesting story about a man driving home from a business trip and a truck driver trying to drive him off the road. So as I mentioned, this was Steven Spielberg's very first feature film. It was a made-for-TV film for ABC, and he got the film by showing ABC Universal the one episode he directed of Columbo. Steven Spielberg was given 10 days to film the 76-page script. Now, the other thing is Steven Spielberg wanted to film on location. The studios insisted that he film in a studio with a car and project the background on the wall behind him. And Steven Spielberg said, absolutely not. This will not have as much intensity if we can't be on location. So he said he kind of got into an argument back and forth with the studio, and finally they said, if you can film the first 3 days on schedule, then we'll allow you to do everything on location. So what he said he did was he created this very, very, very large map that he said really laid out in his entire 2-bedroom apartment. He said that it went through the kitchen, it went through the living room, it went through the bathroom, and even the 2 bedrooms. And so he really mapped out his entire filming because he knew that he had to film this on schedule. So Steven was also only given 3 weeks to edit the 76-page script. He said that he had 5 editors in 5 different rooms, and he had his bike, and he would ride back and forth from room to room to room because he was determined to get this done in the 3 weeks. The studio wanted the film to end one way, and Steven Spielberg wanted it to end a different way. So, needless to say, what you see in the film is Steven Spielberg's ending, but the studio said they wanted to see the truck blow up because they thought, well, it does say flammable on it, but they thought that would be a strong ending. And Steven Spielberg said, no, I want the audience to see the truck die a slow death. He said, I want it to go off the cliff and to roll and roll and roll and to have a very slow death. And the studio said, no, that's not what we want. And he said, okay, if you want to do that, you're gonna have to hire another director and have them film for the day because I won't have anything to do with that. And as I had mentioned, his ending is in the film. I find this kind of interesting because, like I said, this was his very, very first film, his first film for ABC Universal, and he stuck to his instincts. He said, this is what I want, this is my picture, and this is the way I think it should end. If you like it, that's great. If you don't, that's great. This is what I'm doing. And look at who he is today, right? He's one of the best filmmakers, and he's done so many films. And it's hard as an actor. It's hard as, an artist to follow our instincts and to say, this is the way I want to do it when we have all these people kind of chirping in our ear, right? And I think we can all take from that and say, hey, as an artist, I need to start following my instincts and listening to myself, my approach, my feeling. So Dennis Weaver, he does such a great job in this film because he is by himself, I would say 90% of the film. It's all reactions and it's all inner monologue. He also does, I believe Steven Spielberg said 95% of the driving and the stunts. So he wanted to drive up on those hills, the cliffs. That was, Dennis Weaver said, it needs to be me. I want the camera up in my face so they can see my reaction to driving up on these hills. So there's this really great scene where Dennis Weaver is in a phone booth and he's trying to call his wife, and all of a sudden out of the corner of his eye, he sees the truck coming at him. Now, this is a really great shot, and Dennis Weaver was actually in that phone booth. Now, Steven Spielberg said that he had it all mapped out. They actually had these red flags, and if the trucker didn't see Dennis Weaver going out by the first red flag, then he was supposed to veer off and not go towards the phone booth. Dennis Weaver insisted. He said, I want to be in the phone booth. And when you watch the scene, it is so intense. Steven Spielberg said, hey, we got it done in one take. I'm not gonna go ahead and try to do it again. We got it. We're gonna go from there. Thanks for watching, and as always, you're welcome to join an online or in-person free class. Click the link below. See you next time.